This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Leo Inc., Daolis Brothers Construction, and King Movers and Storage.
Hello, Lynners and everyone else watching. I'm Dan Vittori, and it's amazing all that can happen in just 2 short weeks, so let's jump right in. There's an abundance of videos covering events ranging from cultural celebrations to fundraisers to public safety officials engaging with the community, which ties directly into our lowdown this week, which features Essex County Sheriff Kevin Coppinger and his department's STAR program. But I'll not keep you waiting any longer. Here's the news for Friday, August 15th, 2025. Annette Sykes is once again holding several plein air painting sessions at Red Rock Park. Funded by a Better Beaches grant, community members get the chance to paint the ocean and park against the backdrop of the setting sun. If this looks interesting, there is also one more session in a few weeks on August 24th.
This is our Friday night sunset paint at Red Rock Park. This is the 5th year that we are doing this plein air painting at Red Rock Park, and it is sponsored by the Better Beaches grant. They've given us all of the brushes and the canvases, just absolutely everything, and each time we do it, we get a totally incredible group of amateur and professional artists. It's a special and unique experience for everybody who shows up, and it's free. These activities that the Better Beaches grant funds are free, family-friendly, and fun activities that are scattered all along the coastline. The last one, it's on Sunday, August 24th from 11:30 until 2:30, and I really hope you can join us. You end up painting for as little or as long as you would like, and you can take your masterpiece home with you. Come on down. I hope to see you on the 24th.
The inaugural Community Fest at High Rock Tower on August 2nd proved to be a success. Resource tables line the park along with free activities and treats for families. Organized by Ward 4 Councilor Natasha Medji-Madri, she hopes this will become an annual event, celebrating the end of summer.
Yeah, so this is the first annual Community Fest in Ward 4 in High Rock Tower. It's just a way to bridge the community together and share resources. There's a lot of different vendors here. We have a bouncy house for the kids, and it's just a good time for the neighbors and everybody to get to know each other. I just want to thank all our vendors that were here sharing their resources. It's been really great, and that's it. And we're here until 4.
Throughout this month, We Rise is calling on the community to support the program and ensure they can continue to be a safe space for those who need them most. Due to significant federal funding cuts, We Rise stands to lose $300,000, or half their budget. To this end, We Rise officially announced a matching campaign on August 8th. An anonymous donor has pledged a $25,000 match for We Rise's mission. Their ultimate goal is to raise $50,000 to close some of this funding gap, but most importantly, continue to serve the young women and girls of the community. A creative play on words, We Rise hosted their first EmpowHER event the night of the 7th. Close to 100 community members gathered at Centerboard to hear stories of survival, participate in a silent auction, and connect with others. This event was so popular, in fact, that tickets sold out the week before. See why in this video.
So tonight we are having an event here in our palette function room called EmpowHER, little play on the words, for our We Rise program that is for young girls and women under the age of 22 who have been sexually trafficked or exploited in some way. And we're just kind of bringing awareness to the community that this is in Essex County. It's right here in Lynn. It's right in our backyard. And so people are aware, and just to kind of celebrate the stories of the survivors. We are also having cause for celebration because we're going to be announcing tonight a wonderful matching campaign. We have an anonymous donor that is donating $25,000 to the program, and we're going to be doing a hard launch tomorrow on August 8th. So please look out on our social media, and we're trying to get people aware and to donate to the program because we're losing a lot of federal funding through a Department of Justice grant that funds the majority of the program. The loss is around $300,000. So we're making that announcement tonight, and hopefully we're trying to get people on board in terms of, donating to the program.
I am a testament of the silence of a human spirit. Each scar I bear is not a sign of weakness, but a mark of courage. We are not defined by the harm others have done to us. We are defined by the strength that we find in ourselves, the hope that we carry forward, and the lives that we touch. To the people, we are still fighting, still finding the way out of the darkness. We are not alone. Your journey is yours. Your voice is powerful. Your story is worthy, and your survival is a victory to the world that still judges, still questions. We are not broken. We are the whole, and anyone still walking through their own darkness, I say this: you are already a survivor. The moment you decide you will not let life break you, you became victory. My name is Miguel Valentine, and I am a warrior.
For the third consecutive year, Lynn Vocational Technical Institute has been awarded a Career Technical Institute Implementation Grant. The amount of funding also continues to increase. In 2023, it was $200,000, before jumping to $490,000 in 2024, then again to $720,000 in 2025. This year, the grant will be used to train 72 participants for auto tech, welding, and plumbing positions. LVTI is also partnering with 8 businesses in the community, allowing students access to real-world training and instruction from industry professionals. Tech is also now running their plumbing program for 2 semesters instead of 1, and they added an upskill navigator program, hence the increase in funding. The CTI grant program partners with Lynn Tech and many other vocational technical institutes to, quote, provide adult learners, especially unemployed and underemployed individuals from underserved communities and underrepresented groups, with career training and technical skills to meet the needs of Massachusetts employers, end quote. The city of Lynn celebrated the U.S. Coast Guard's 235th birthday with a ceremony and flag raising the morning of the 8th. Featuring a speech by Mike Sweeney, the Director of Veteran Services, and a proclamation from Mayor Gerald Nicholson, the event concluded with cake and the rising of the flag over Lynn.
I want to welcome you today here in the city of Lynn as we recognize the 235th birthday of the United States Coast Guard. Joining us to raise the flag for the Coast Guard are Coast Guard veterans Jerry Dwyer from the Lynn Fire Department and Jeffrey Acetuno from the Lynn Police Department.
Whereas the Coast Guard has approximately 43,000 active duty members, more than 8,000 reservists, and 30,000 auxiliary personnel who ensure our nation's maritime safety and have served proudly in every one of our nation's conflicts. And whereas since 2003, the Coast Guard has operated as part of the Department of Homeland Security, serving as the nation's frontline agency for enforcing the nation's laws at sea, saving lives, protecting the marine environment, and guarding the nation's vast coastline and ports. Whereas we recognize and honor those from Lynn who have served bravely in the United States Coast Guard since its inception. Now therefore, I, Mayor Jared C. Nicholson, Mayor of the City of Lynn, do hereby proclaim Friday, August 8th to be Coast Guard Day, and urge all to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance.
As of August 6th, 2025, the City of Lynn has completed a comprehensive rewrite of its citywide ordinance, replacing 100-year-old policies with modern frameworks that better match with the city's current infrastructure. These new codes will guide the city into the future for decades to come. The completed maps and adapted codes are now available to view and download, both through the City of Lynn's website and lyntv.org. Modernizing the zoning ordinance is the most recent step in realizing the positive growth laid out in Vision Lynn, while also providing a framework that is clearer and more transparent for residents in relation to industrial and commercial growth. With this update, Lynn can match the changing needs of residents, both presently and in the future. The Massachusetts Water Resources Authority's contractor, Bond Civil and Utility Construction of Medford, began night work the week of August 11th at the intersection of the Linway and Hanson Street. Work to replace a water service pipeline will continue until mid-October, with work taking place between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. During this period, vehicles will still be able to traverse the area, but traffic lane restrictions and shifts will be in place. There will also be signage and police details to direct motorists along this stretch. Lynn Police were involved in two events this week. First up was their annual Bike Safety Day giveaway, where officers gave out free bike helmets, and kids got the chance to navigate a course in the parking lot of Manning Field.
I'm a patrol officer on the morning shift, and today we're here for the Bike and Cops event with the Lynn community. It's mostly about bike safety. We have all these new bike lanes coming out in the city with the new developments and whatnot, and we're just trying to get kids more active, more outside, but also be safe while they do it. Wear the proper equipment, helmet. Just teaching kids how to get more exercise outside and learn about bike safety and whatnot. So this is kind of a way to get kids to come out here and test everything out with their family and friends, and with their officers too around the community, so we can build that kind of relationship and just create a more strong foundation for our city.
Wednesday the 13th was also kid-focused, as families got the chance to play in the Kiley Park splash pads during the Stay Cool with Cops event. During the height of the heat, kids got the chance to soak each other and even a few of the officers. There was a heat advisory in effect for much of this week, but families were still enjoying summer fun at the Cool Down with Cops event on Wednesday, August 13th. Dozens of kids gathered at the Kiley Park splash pad, running through streams of water and playing games of water tag. Kids could bring their own squirt guns or borrow one from LPD to soak their friends, families, or even themselves. Lynn Police also provided cool free snacks at the event, including ice cream and watermelon to be enjoyed at the surrounding tables and play area. Most officers were enjoying watching from the sidelines, but one brave soul was right in the middle of the action, engaging in water battles with the kids. By the end of the afternoon, several kids had commandeered that bucket and were simply soaking each other. Overall, the event proved to be a success, providing families a place to cool down from the heat in a safe, fun environment. For LCTV News, I'm Danny Vittori. The Boston Red Sox broke a 3-game skid in dramatic fashion, besting the Houston Astros 14-1 on the 12th. Alex Bregman, who won the 2022 World Series with the Astros, greeted his former team by blasting a 2-run homer off the right field pole to give Boston a 7-0 advantage in the 6th. Pitcher Dustin May, a trade acquisition from the Dodgers, also showed major improvement in his second start for the Sox, going 6 scoreless innings and striking out 8. Boston rounded out the series with a 4-1 loss. Kevin Coppinger has been the Essex County Sheriff since 2017 and has brought significant change to the department. One such example is the STAR program, launched just after COVID as a way to reduce recidivism. But I will let him tell you more. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. Today we have on a very special guest, the Sheriff of Essex County, Kevin Coppinger. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's always a great time. Appreciate the invite.
Of course, and you're a pro, I'm telling you where the cameras are, and you're like, no, I got this. you know where everything is. It's always very impressive.
Yep, it's always fun, but a lot of memories in this studio. We've done a lot of shows over the years, and they're always good.
And you're really known, I said, with the Lynn Police first and as a sheriff for your innovation. And one thing we're here to talk about is the STAR program that you began a couple of years ago. And would you be able to tell the viewers a bit about what that is and how it's been going so far?
Yep. As you know, I used to be the police chief in Lynn. I was a police officer for 32 years. But one of my frustrations as chief was we have all these different social services for folks who have issues, in societal issues, particularly substance use disorders, mental illness and some other related things. And we see the constant recidivism rate. The police department and other agencies would bring people to court, prosecute them, they'd go to jail, do the time, and they would come back out of jail and go right back into the same cycle. It was just frustrating. Yeah. So, it's one of the reasons why I ran for sheriff. And so when we got up there, it took us a while to get it going because we had to get our feet wet, no pun intended, but once we got it going and we got through COVID, we finally created the STAR program. And what STAR is, we took 2 of our most busiest cities, Lynn and Lawrence. They're the bigger feeder agencies, cities for us. And we put together the STAR programs outside the jail. So if I could back up a little bit, when someone comes to jail now, we try to give them an individualized treatment plan. What is the root cause of their issues? Why are they here? Yeah. And again, I mentioned substance use disorder and mental illness. Those are the 2 main factors. So we put together a treatment plan. Mm-hmm. So while they're in jail, we'll offer them educational programs. If they don't have high school education, we can do that with Northern Essex Community College, who actually comes in and teaches in the jail. Wow. Merrimack College also does that. If they have clinical issues, psychological issues, substance use issues, anger issues, conflict issues, all those things, we have all kinds of programs to help them address those type of problems. And then we also have vocational training. We can teach them a trade. So if the inmates in jail participate in all that, when they get out, we want to make sure we continue those services, and that's where STAR comes in, supporting transition and reentry. Okay. So we opened up the 2 offices, one in Lynn and one in Lawrence, and I'm very glad to say we just outgrew our Lynn office this spring. We were at the 3rd floor of the multi-service center, and we just moved over to Central Avenue because it's been very successful and very accommodating to the folks that come in. And I got to give Lynn Police a little pat on the back, because early on they came to us and said, "Hey, Sheriff, do we have to have people who have already been in the criminal justice system? Can they come and participate in STAR, or can we just bring them in off the street?" Bring them in. And they brought in several individuals who have done that. So we do a lot of the programs I just mentioned.
Yep.
We do in the jail. We do them inside the STAR offices. We have computer labs in there. We have instructors. Northern Essex Community College comes in. And yeah, we're in North Shore Community College territory, but they partner back and forth.
I agree.
All the social service agencies, the healthcare agencies, they come in and they work with the, we call them clients once they're outside the jail. And we continue those programs to give them that second chance. And it's been very, very well received. We do a little graduation for them. They come back afterwards as peer tutors. So it's been moving along pretty good, and it just keeps growing. We're doing about 150 people a day.
Wow.
Last year we processed, or we graduated 436.
That's amazing.
And to put it in perspective, today's population in the Essex County Jail and House of Correction facilities, it's 936 people. So you can see it's not quite half, but that's a lot of differences, but it's making an impact. It really is.
It is. And as you even said before we started on the show, it severely reduces recidivism for people who stay in the program, graduate from it, go on. You said it reduces it pretty significantly.
100%. Now, when I became sheriff 8.5 years ago, the population in in Essex County was just shy of 1,500 inmates. Today, as I mentioned, 936. Now, I'm not going to take credit for all that. We can't. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the community, and there's a lot of other programs outside. But we're going to take a piece of that.
Oh, of course.
Those accolades. But if somebody comes to jail and they do nothing, just sit in there in that cell and just bide their time until they get out, they don't want to participate in anything, that average recidivism rate, which we count a year afterwards. We give them a year to come back to society. If they do nothing, it's about 41, 42%. If they participate in the programs that I mentioned before and continue to do good things inside the jail, it drops to about 20%. And if they continue and they go to the STAR program, we can drop it as low as 10%. That's a very, very good number, not to pat ourselves on the back, but I got great staff that do all the work. I can sit here and take all the credit for it, but we got a lot of great people that do this, but they've gotten it down to 10%. Now, it's still new, and that might go either direction, but it's a great way to start the program and keep it running in our 3rd year.
No, it's definitely a great way to kick it off, too. And as you were mentioning, when people come to the STAR program, they do all these programs. And one thing you were talking about with me was there's going to be, you said AI and job search. You have Devin McCourty coming, who's awesome. I'm a huge Patriots fan, so I love that.
You know, we did a video chat with him back in early June, and he's going to make an appearance down here at the Lynn STAR office in a couple of weeks. But it's a program called Stickball, and everybody talks about AI. You grab your phone, there's AI availability there, there's all kinds of stuff. So the Stickball folks came, and Devin's their spokesperson, and he explained it to us. It's amazing, and it's like, why not try it? And you know, in our STAR offices, we have computer labs. So a lot of our clients, they can come in and they can sit at a laptop and get the Stickball app going on there. And it'll show you different scenarios or different ways, particularly to get a job. And a real quick example is they have an app there which shows you how to do, if you want to apply for a warehouse job, maybe you don't know what it is. But I sat there and watched it. It's all self-controlled by the client. And they'll show you, okay, you want to learn, oh, how do I unload a truck, a delivery truck, or how do I load a delivery truck, or how do I stack shelves, or maybe sweep floors, whatever it might be.
Right.
They ask AI, and the AI walks them through it with these little pictures and stuff, and it's pretty cool. Then they can jump to the next stage. How do you prepare a resume? How do I do it? And then it goes to the next stop. They put them through mock interviews at a job interview. And AI talks back and forth with them, and it's amazing because whatever the client says, AI will come back with a response specific to what his or her words were, just like a real interview. It's amazing the way it does, and it's, hey, let's take advantage of AI while we got it, because it's not going anywhere. It's going to run out of lives here soon, so let's take advantage of it.
Yeah, definitely way, as you said, take advantage of it. And I mean, having the mock interviews, the resume building, I know I've had that, and if you don't know how to do it, it can be a very overwhelming thing, or go like, maybe I don't have a certain kind of experience. Like, how do I learn it?
Yeah. Right. And having Devin McCourty, because obviously he's Patriots, and he actually said he might bring a couple other former Patriots, but it's a great sales point for us because a lot of the guys that were in jail, everybody's Patriots fans, especially the McCourty, the Brady era.
Of course, yeah.
And they're going to break, McCourty's doing this, so it's just having his name attached to it with us and have him come down here to Lynn and make an appearance is a huge selling point for us.
And you've already been making an impact beyond that too. You said that there was a meeting in Boston or last year. You were just down in Fort Lauderdale. You said last month. So other departments are also starting to pick up on your lead too.
Yep, if I can just be a little bold, I'm
Sure.
going to tell you, in 2024, our STAR program was voted the #1 program in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts amongst all the 14 sheriff's offices in the state. And that's a huge thing. It's also great bragging rights with me from my peers, my sheriffs. But then last October, we presented on the STAR program at the International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference, which was held in Boston. And then most recently, we went down to Fort Lauderdale in June of this year, just a little over a month ago, and presented at the National Sheriff's Association Conference. And those are both major conferences. And we had our folks, and we brought Sergeant Taylor Habrick from the Lynn Police Department because he's been so important to how we succeed here. And we've had great feedback from other sheriffs. I've had sheriffs from Houston, Texas, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, sheriff's offices from the Carolinas, and another one from Texas that are actually sending their folks up here to see how STAR works, how we put it together, and how they can duplicate it back in their communities. Wow. Pretty neat.
That is. That's a large reach. That's countrywide reach. It's not Commonwealth. That's, you keep going with it.
It's a huge dynamic because, I mean, Massachusetts is a liberal state. We know that, and we're trying to do the right thing, at least in my opinion. In my philosophy with the inmates while they're in jail is that we can keep them busy, we keep them out of trouble. If they stay out of trouble, then our staff doesn't have to, go hands-on as we call it, and have to wrestle with them and put them on handcuffs. If you can get them to cooperate, keep them busy, keep them focused, they're just less troublesome, and that's good for everybody. Down south, it's a little bit different. There's still a lot of I'm going to say the Civil War times going on down there in some of the old counties and stuff like that, but they're actually looking at what we're doing up here in Massachusetts in general and saying, wow, maybe it's time everybody takes another look at being a little bit more proactive in their thinking about how to reduce recidivism, how we address incarceration, and it seems to be, you see it spreading across the country. It's working well.
It definitely is, having that approach of look for the root causes, try to give them options. It's not just a lock them up, throw away the key kind of attitude.
100%. 100%.
I'll look through, because you talked about how you moved the new office, talked about the STAR program. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention? I know those are my main points, but.
Yeah, no, one other thing we talked about, and we might have talked about last time I was here, was our medication-assisted treatment program.
Yes, I do recall that.
So we do that, so if somebody comes in that has an addiction problem, and they might be going through the old DTs, as it's commonly known, or just can't get off the meds that they're taking. So now every inmate, when they come in, this has always been the way, they get a full medical and mental health workup when they come in, just like we may go to an annual physical to our doctors. So now if somebody's coming in and they're detoxing, trying to get off that med, before we would just let them, they would have to go through the detox program, and we would give them comfort medication, we'd keep them under the supervision of our nursing and our medical staff. So in this last year, we've got a little bit more adventurous, and it's tough bringing some of these medications because it's a correctional facility. It's not like going to the CVS and getting your meds. It's a whole other world because drugs on the inside of a jail are huge money compared to what you can get them in CVS. But we worked with our healthcare provider and the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, who regulates all this. And now we've got somebody that comes in that's detoxing, and that can be nasty. So now we can give them Suboxone, which is one of the medication-assisted treatment issues, and give them small doses to help them get through the detox. And once they get through that, we can get them right onto the MAT program if they want. It's not forced, it's obviously voluntary. But that just takes a lot of the sting of detoxing and getting off the meds before we can get them on the new path to sobriety and keep them clean. Oh, wow. It's working well, pretty well.
It does. You said the whole drugs correctional facility, it's great you were able to find a way to do that that's safe for everyone involved.
Yeah, and we actually got some recognition out of Washington. I know this day and age, I don't want to get into the politics with the the current Washington administration, but on September 4th and 5th, we're hosting a small little national conference at our training center in Middleton, where 7 sheriff's officers from across the country are sending their staff here just to see how our whole MAT program operates. And the DEA has been a big sales point for us too, to help us spread the word. But they want to come up and see how we do this and how it operates and how it's working, which is, again, a great credit to our staff, because they're the ones that do all the hard work. But that's pretty neat to see that they're looking at Massachusetts for some leadership.
It is. It's amazing that you're the front runner and you have people, you're helping teach others and maybe have it spread around a little bit.
It's working.
You said. I think that'll be really cool in a couple of months to see how that goes.
Yeah,
I'll have to get back on.
Absolutely. Great.
Well, again, I just have to thank you so much for coming on and talking about this. I mean, you can tell just how invested you are, and it's very impressive what you've been able to do over the last few years.
Nope. Thank you so much. I always love coming here and appreciate the invite.
Of course. Thank you so much, Sheriff. And once again, I'm Danny Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Primaries are coming up in a few weeks, and LCTV has you covered with a live Ward 5 forum on August 18th at 7 p.m. It will be broadcast live on our government channel, website, Facebook, and YouTube, and moderated by LCTV board member Joe Scanlon. Primaries will take place for the City of Lynn on September 2nd, and polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Of the 4 candidates running to be the next Ward 5 councillor, only 2 will advance to the final election on November 4th. Next Tuesday, the 19th, there will be not 1 but 2 Scoop the Poop pet parades in Lynn. Hosted by the City of Lynn's Public Health Division, the first parade will take place at Barkland Dog Park from noon to 2 p.m., with the second one taking place at Lynn Common that evening from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Bring your pet and join this fun event, which includes free microchipping and goodie bags. 2026 dog tags are also available for $30, while dog licenses require a $12 fee and an up-to-date rabies certificate. Then head down to the newly opened Harbor Park the afternoon of the 23rd for the first annual Ward 6 Kite Day, hosted by Councillor Fred Hogan. This event is all about celebrating community and bringing people together. Whether you bring your own kite or get one there, everyone is invited to participate. There will also be prizes for best kite and most decorative kite. Additionally, there will be a kite building workshop and community resource tables. Organizers are also asking for kite donations and day of volunteers. With that, we touch down for the end of our news program. As always, stay up to date on all things Lynn, from live election coverage to event recaps and press releases by visiting our website, lyntv.org. And follow us on social media at Lynn Community Television for all the latest announcements and city updates. If purely videos are more your style, then Lynn Community Television on YouTube is the place for you. I'm Danny Vittori, this is LCTV News, and we will see you next week.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Leo Inc., Daolis Brothers Construction, and King Movers and Storage.